Well, hello, Accra. The 3FM Sunrise team is back. We're on the move this Friday, the 29th of November, 2024, for the 5th edition of the 3FM Bus Ride, the Sunrise Mobile Edition. This time around, we're bringing you the conversation all the way from Sakumono through Bachona Sphincters. It is Bachona Sphincters, Accra Mall, and then to the Kwame Nkrumah Center, what you call Dubai. And we want you on board. All the lively debates, the fresh perspectives, and a totally enjoyable bus ride. VVIP guests from all sectors, a surprise appearance that will add more controversies to the real stories and excitement as well. Send out your commute into a chance to chat about what really matters to you as Ghanaians, and most importantly, have thrilling conversations to make your count for the commute. So reserve your seat. Join us. Text or WhatsApp 053-230-0927. That's 053-230-0927. 053-230-0927. 3FM Sunrise Mobile Edition, bringing the voices of Ghana to you. Only on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. And this 3FM special edition is supported by Royal VVS Security Analyst with Jati K. Also, Gabriel Oforia Pia is a director, Safeguarding Awareness and Outreach, Ghana Internet Safety Foundation. Joining us on the phone line now, Adib Sani Indo Kaula.
Alafi, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, Alafi, so, Gabi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great, and you, sir?
I am greater than Accra.
Thank you.
Great. Now, we want to have a conversation about how to ensure your security and social media communication ahead of the December polls. Adib, let's first of all pay attention to what the IGP said yesterday at the presser. And even before we get to that, do you and the other CSOs in the security fraternity have your accreditation to observe the elections, though?
No. We followed up. Jean Mensa wouldn't see us. I understand we have to write to request for an appointment to meet a public officer.
Right.
And we made an effort, but she's indisposed. I mean, nobody can see her. She's at a high place. And to date, we've still not heard. We appealed her decision not to grant CSOs accreditation, but we've still not heard anything. Only for us to hear yesterday that they have made a further decision to restrict at the polling stations, at the collation centers, the number of media organizations and observers in that room. So I don't know what is it the Electoral Commission is hiding. I don't know what their true intentions are.
I see.
But they need to be mindful of the fact that whatever comes, God forbid, is going to consume everybody.
See. What do you see to be the general outlook in terms of the peace and calm that we all seek while we go ahead with this election before, during, and after?
Well, there seems to be tension, a lot of bickering, a lot of accusations and counter-accusations. There's a number of incendiary remarks by certain politicians, and it's heightening the anxiety pertaining to the election. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine contacted me last week, and according to her, her family is calling her that she should come to Burkina Faso during the elections in Ghana. So if somebody is wanting to go to Burkina Faso away from Ghana during an election, you can imagine the perceptions people have. And we also seem to be witnessing waning confidence in the police and waning confidence in the state institutions' ability and capacity to conduct a free, fair, credible election. There's a lot of suspicion around. So we thought that one of the most important steps to take as we go into the election is for confidence to be built. And one of the ways to build confidence is through transparency. But every single day, transparency seems to be waning, especially with the announcement yesterday. So I think that is what is raising a lot of suspicions, and those of us within that space are very worried about these incidents.
I see. Gabi, let me bring you in and ask you, our phones, and people are worried about our phones and the internet and what could possibly happen on election day, knowing that in the past we had an open announcement where the Electoral Commission had told us that their systems were hacked and all of that. Should Ghanaians generally be worried that a similar thing could happen to them on the individual scale?
Yeah, so thank you. For being safe on our digital space depends on each and every one who have one. For Ghana Internet Safety Foundation, for the question, for the telcos or for any media company to shut down information reaching to the people of Ghana, for our sake, we want to emphasize on misinformation and disinformation.
Right.
Because 7.4 million people are now hooked to the social space, that is social media.
Right.
And the population of Ghana, as of now, we are moving 3.4 million. And within that 3.4 million, 24 of them are hooked to the internet. So that is where we want to hit, because misinformation and disinformation can destroy our dear, lovely country when information is shared wrongly and falsely. So for us, we want to hammer on this, but the awareness needs to flow within this coming day to go to the polls. Thank you.
I see. Now, the misinformation and disinformation, I mean, it could push people into a certain domain, for example. I mean, beyond traditional media, social media is also wide and rapid. Some have said that they fear that the internet could be shut down on election day. Do you have similar fears?
No. For me, if that is done, we are causing another wahala. Because if you do that, that means something is going to happen on no limit. So we need to give a free range for social media to work and give a caution, because most of the people don't know the act, the Cybersecurity Act, that if you post anything falsely or fake, you face the law. So if this is sent across, I hope that there will not be any shutdown of the digital space.
Adib, now, for those who will be observing elections or those who will be participating in terms of polling agents and party agents, etc., what security precautions could they possibly be taking beyond what the IGP has assured as of yesterday?
Well, at the personal level, you need to be very mindful of your environment. You cannot rely on the police hook, line, and sinker, because they cannot be everywhere all the time. That is why it is necessary that you take personal responsibility for your security. First and foremost, you have to be able to identify yourself. So there are these observers. They always wear the jackets with the observer written on it, okay? And you need to also carry your ID or your tag at every point in time. When you get to the polling station, you would have to introduce yourself to the policeman on duty, the election officials, and the political party representatives. So we don't have anyone raising questions. Who is this person? Where is he coming from? Because we've realized that for a lot of the confusion at the polling stations, they've seen people they cannot identify. And so they suspect they are there and they are up to no good. So it is important you identify yourself. Wherever you are going to be positioned, wherever you are going to be to work as an observer, you need to understand the terrain. Where is the nearest police station? where can I find the nearest medical outpost? Okay, in case of trouble, what do I do?
Now, Adib, oh, sorry about that. We lost Adib. Please raise Adib back on the phone line. Gabi, while we wait for Adib, let me come to you. So this disinformation, misinformation, we know that the stakes are high in terms of which party or which candidate wants to win the elections. You have given us education that you could be arrested if you put out information that is false or fake. But the stakes are high. People want to win. People want to do anything at all to win. Beyond the caution that you have given them, what else should be able to put them in check so that they don't find themselves behind bars?
Yeah, so I think all this is a designated authority that if you need information concerning elections, you need to find the information from that source. And then we need to be careful how we spread message and also rumors, because anything you do concerning that, you are putting yourself into trouble. And for this disinformation and misinformation, people normally do not understand. Everybody is saying misinformation. What is it? So the misinformation is sharing a harmful information without intent, like you did it without any, you don't want to win election. That's why you just make that post. But the disinformation is that you share that information to win. So that in that case, it becomes something that we need to take you on for peace to prevail. So, my brother, that is one thing that we, the fellow Ghanaians, and then the millennials and the Gen Z, because they are in the space. Because when you check the digital space, those who are there is the age from the millennials and the Gen Z. So they should be very, very careful in this last bit to the poll, because they should be careful not to be pushed by small money to post something. Even a picture also can take you to destroy a good country.
Right.
So that is our state.
I see. Adi, welcome back. And I was just asking you. You were just making a point. Quickly wrap up on that one, and then I'll ask you a quick follow up. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what I'm saying is that day you shouldn't have the excuse of my phone battery is dead. When you are going out, you need to charge your phone very well. You should have some accoutrement. I mean, even the possibility of torchlights, because, I mean, you never know. The lights could develop a fault, power could go off at any point. So you would be able to, as it were, maneuver your way around. When you should also be able to tell if there's any threat of violence. I mean, so when you see unusual movements, if you see unusual arguments, you see someone calling, making a call, my boys, where are you? Come, something is happening. You should know that there's a fire on the mountain. Immediately take the necessary steps to be able to stay away from, that confusion. So, like I indicated, at a very personal level, we need to exercise a great deal of discretion so far as our security is concerned.
Now, the question that also comes to mind is this. There are concerns about the deployment of the military. In fact, it's been said that in this particular election, it's only the IGP who has the final say as the head of the election security task force to call for the military to step in. But many people are skeptical about it because of their experiences maybe from 2016, 2020, and the unresolved murder of 8 people in the elections. What do you say? What do you say as a security analyst?
Okay, so the military should not be directly involved in our elections. And we've been very categorical. I mean, the Justice Center has been very categorical about this from day one. The military can be in the fringes. They can embark on patrol operations together with the police like they do. But what we don't want is to see the military at polling stations, because some people, in fact, I know a lot of people who cannot stand the sight of a gun. When military are deployed to polling stations, they become an intimidating factor that would prevent people from even coming out to vote. I mean, it's tantamount to voter suppression. So we need to be very mindful of that fact. The only time the military would step in and come all the way to a polling station is when the police is overwhelmed, they've had their police backup, it's still not working, then they call on the military as a last resort. That is allowed. But to have the military taking part in this whole exercise directly is not something that should be countenanced. Let us be mindful of what happened in 2020. People died. Not a fly has been held to account for the deaths, because so far as I am concerned, Johnny, they didn't die by suicide. They were killed by men. So what happened to those men? Nothing. All right, so this time around, I must say, it's presenting to us a different dynamic altogether. Because I've had a lot of people call me asking for guns. How do we acquire a gun? And I go like, to be able to acquire a gun, you have to write to the Interior Ministry.
That's
you have
right.
to justify why you need it.
Right.
But that notwithstanding, why do you need a gun? Then they tell me, have you forgotten? You're a security analyst. You've forgotten what happened in 2020. People died. So if you don't protect yourself and expect the state to protect you, you will die just like the others, and nobody would be held to account. And that, I must say, is distressing. It's quite worrying.
I see. Now, in terms of, Adib, I'll come to you, Gabi, but in terms of this gun matter, let's explore it further down. The police have insisted that, look, you can't have weapons. The Hawa Kumsin case is still fresh on our minds. She said she was trying to protect herself. Are we really getting to the point where people now want to protect themselves and not believe in the numerous security agents that are deployed out there for the public safety and their own protection?
Absolutely. And Johnny, it would shock you. And I've worked within the armed space in Ghana. I'm one of those who have developed the new draft law on the regulation of arms in Ghana. As a matter of fact, the law we have is the 1960s. It's archaic. A lot has changed since. But the problem is there is massive proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Ghana. It is worrying. Now, every young man wants to be armed. A lot of these internet boys in their Range Rovers, trust me, stop search, you will find guns. Political actors, everybody wants to have a gun. Just yesterday, in Shahasu MP, I understand someone pointed a toy gun at him. He removed he brandished a real gun.
Right.
Okay. So this is only a testament of the waning trust and confidence the people have in the state's ability to protect them and to grant them or ensure that there is justice. So they take matters into their own hands. But that is not how to build a nation. It is very disturbing. So if really we want to solve this gun culture issue, we need to not just arrest people, seize their weapons, and all that. But we need to deal with the fundamental issue of the lack of trust and confidence in the state. So when someone kills another person, we expect that the state will take it up, make the person have his day in court. He's either acquitted or he's found guilty of the crime, and life continues. But if nothing is done about it, then people would feel that, no, they cannot count on the state.
Gabi, cyberbullying, and there are those who delight in it, especially on political partisan lines. Somebody puts up a post, maybe is posing a question to understand maybe the 24-hour economy, the blue economy, or digitalization, or any other thing that has been said, or is asking a question about the cost of living, economic situation, and that question is not answered. Rather, they come insulting and attacking. And there have been concerns about people taking screenshots to go and collect Noco fuel from their paymasters and all of that. What do you advise, especially the Gen Zs who may be engaged in this, hiding behind faceless accounts and not knowing who they are dealing with?
Yeah. So, as you said, cyberbullying is one of the top issues concerning this digital space.
Sunrise on 3FM.
Affecting young people, even an adult. Now the baby bonus are all part of it. But for me, what we say that we call something digital reputation. One day, what you have done on the digital space will come back to you. So all the young people who are taking Nokofio to destroy somebody's name, one day it will pop up because we have something called digital footprint. Anything you put on the internet does not go. They think if they delete, it goes. There is a server sitting somewhere, but that server will come up. I hope that our listeners listen to the great FM station, 3FM. Your phone that you have thrown, you have given out for 5 years. The picture you took 5 years come back to you as a remembrance. That shows that anything you do on the digital space does not go. So we need to be careful and mindful. If you bully me today, it gives me a chance also to bully somebody as well. So if we stop now, we make a better place in the digital realm for us all to live, to make a great impact.
Adib, now let's look at the aftermath of the elections. We have finished voting. Counting has been done. Now people want to go and mass up at the collation center. They want to, as they say on the street, see inside and know if their candidate is winning or losing. What do you advise?
Well, there's nothing wrong with people going to see what's going on. It's all part of the democratic exercise. I remember some time ago, someone held his eyes with his fingers so as not to sleep because they were counting. And we do know, based on the work I have done, there are some situations where persons counting would go like 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 12, sort of. They jump. No doubt about that. And so people would need to be more meticulous this time around. But what I wish to say is, let's do everything in a peaceful manner. There's no room for violence this election, but surely it is within your right to return at the close of day to ensure that the right thing is done, and whatever the election result is would be a true reflection of the will of the people.
Adib, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful.
Pleasure is mine. Thanks.
Great. Gabi, you have the final word on this one. I have my data. I have my phone. I have my electricity. I've charged my phone. I'm an independent citizen. And I'm listening to Radio 3FM, the provisional results, and I decide to post them as the certified results. Am I a contravention of the law? And can I be picked up for misinformation or disinformation?
For that, we need to verify before you share. So verify before you share. So most of the young people did not. They just want to come there first. So they need to be careful to verify from the correct source before they share. And then we need to also be careful of information that will not help the nation, especially as my brother said, we need peace. We need to live harmony. So we need to be careful. And we need to make sure that your vote is your voice. So if you want to post something, if you want to make because you have your own phone, you have your own data, you have your own electricity, you need to be careful that if you want your voice to be heard, go and vote and then wait for the uttermost part of the election.
Thank you very much, Gabriel Oforia-Pia of Safeguarding Awareness and Outreach. We're grateful for your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And earlier you had Jati K's own Adib Sani joining us here. And So these are the perspectives out there. We have all the information we need now. We have all the guidance we need now, especially for the younger people. Don't be Facebook or an ex-Jata or Lion.
Yeah.
And do all manner of things. It will come back to bite you.
Absolutely. Mr. Oforia Pia cited the Cybersecurity Act, and we've seen that it works. So, like you said, you can't be in your room somewhere and spewing either misinformation, disinformation,
right,
or just being aggressive and being verbally abusive and so on and so forth, which we see on a daily basis,
right,
which is still rife on social media. The law is in place. Don't think that, oh, everybody's doing it, so I too will join in the chorus. It could be you that is facing the full rigors of the law. For me, something that was concerning though was Adib Sani's initial remarks, and I noted that down. He says, what is the EC hiding? What are their true intentions? For that to still be a discussion on the table 10 days to the big day is quite concerning.
For him, as an interested party, the civil society organizations who are involved in security, they had applied to the Electoral Commission to get observation status.
That's right.
And the Electoral Commission denied them, including a former general of the Ghana Army, a former CDS to be precise, General Arnold Quinn. I mean, he's not a small boy in the scheme of things. And I'm wondering why the Electoral Commission would deny a person of that caliber. You need his expertise. I mean, what hasn't a general seen before on the battlefield? But the Electoral Commission reserved the right to say, no, I won't give you CSOs, and they find it concerning. That's why they are raising the question, what does the Electoral Commission have to hide? What are the real intentions? Legitimate question, because if you have not explained to me why you are denying me my application to observe an election which you say will be free and fair, and I come back to reapply or come back to see you and I cannot find you because they say you are busy or you are unavailable,
and that you've got to send it in writing to request a meeting, sounds like you've got to jump through some serious hurdles, and like Adib said, to meet a public official.
And do they have that luxury of time? So he's justified to ask the question, what are your real intentions? For me, beyond even that, the other conversation where every young person, according to Adib, wants to be armed is something that we should be very careful about.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very careful about. You lived in the UK, the gun and knife violence.
At least even in the UK, they've tried to restrict that by way of law, but people find ways around it. Like we even see a fashion their own kind of gun, and you don't want to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, especially when tempers flare. And innocent people always are on the receiving end of a street.
You could just be wasted, that's all.
That's it.
Gone.
That's it.
Just like that.
So I don't really know what is going to happen. I mean, just last week, wasn't it, Johnny, that some ammunition, some guns and so on and so forth were intercepted? How many have already found
their way into the people's sides and into their pockets and all of that?
It's good that the IGP is spearheading these conversations with different stakeholders, but in the light of what just happened, was reported some 11 hours ago, Sticker,
Stephen
MP, he was reported to have been brandishing a live gun after some, back and forth with the youth. And I think the IGP should let us know what the plan is as far as guns are concerned. We're getting one too many reports of people. You recall the IGP was on a hunt for one gentleman, I forget the name, after the NPP-NDC clash, after some kind of... that person had a gun.
The Mamobi area.
Yes.
I
mean, does everybody have a gun? Is that something that we should know? Is that going to incentivize others to think, maybe I too should, protect myself? It's a legitimate, valid question. And if you think that nobody is thinking about it, those who have the access are not thinking about it, you would be sorely mistaken.
Anyway, this is your Election Command Center. These are the kind of conversations you get here. You can't miss it. It's 10 days to the big election. Let's listen to IGP Dan Parry on security issues, shall we?
Have the future of this country in mind in terms of its democratic dispensation. So the document that we have generated for running elections into this country, when we're preparing it, we have 30 years from now in mind. So it's a master blueprint that has come to mainstream election security in this country for the first time, so that it will not be that when election is about to happen, then we start putting ourselves together and try preparing for the election. But we will eat and drink election as if we are breathing in and out air. Because we feel that that is the only way to institutionalize election security within the context of our democratic dispensation in a manner that will endure to our benefit as a country. And this document, since its implementation, you've seen that all the by-elections you have in this country has been very peaceful. You've seen that all other elections, including district assembly elections that we had in this country, has been very peaceful. You have also seen that all the internal elections of all the political parties have also been very peaceful. In addition to that, the instances of pockets of selected violence have also been dealt with in accordance with law, mercilessly, in accordance with law, where we go after the people involved, get them arrested and put them before the court. There are a few of them still out there, but we have not stopped looking for them. And they know, but they should know this. For how far can you run? For how long can you hide? Because we will not forget you. Because when we forget you, we give you the opportunity to come back and do the things that you do again. So as long as we have booked you in our records, that you are somebody we are looking for, we will pursue you until we find you. The only thing that will stop us from pursuing you is maybe the person pass on, and that's the end of the game. Until that, the caution is that we know whom we are looking for. Within the pocket of incident that has happened, the few ones that we've not arrested will come for you, and you know that we're ready to come for you. Because we will not allow anybody, be it individual or a group, to disturb the peace of this country. Because we don't have a second gun, we have only one gun.
That's IGP George Akufu Dampare there. Talking tough and assuring everybody. But Helen, do you remember the general truth? The Russians kept presenting a picture of they being the strong hand, they winning, but we all saw the images that they were literally losing, on that side. IGP Dampare has restricted it. So this morning, if I'm a police PRO, I work at the division, I work at the district, I work at the region, or even national. When I dress up and go to work, do I go to work to go and do?
Do you see any merits, though, to that directive to centralize?
I think that is a way to censor the press. And if you want to grow police TV, that's fine. But do not censor the press in trying to grow your police TV.
Have you watched police TV before?
But from here, at this place, from here, Media General, we were the first to give the police a 4-hour program called You and the Police. Right? Free airtime for the police to tell their story. So we have a track record of giving to the police an opportunity to tell their story.
Now they have their own
but I'm saying that nobody begrudges you, but which portion of the Police Act allows for the police to have a broadcasting house? Which portion of the Police Act?
They are showing some educational programs.
I'm saying that which portion of the Police Act?
Which portion denies them the opportunity
I'm saying,
to do
but to the end that there's no provision in it, it means that you cannot cross that carpet.
I think the fact that it is silent means that.
But there's a reason the laws are made.
When you go to Counterback, they put police TV on for you to watch. Last
but
they were all what the prisoners were.
No,
they locked them.
I'm not saying that you don't watch it. I'm saying which portion of the Police Act allows for the police to have a broadcasting house.
And if you misbehave, you even see your car there. Now you see the cameras capture you, so you can watch and see yourself.
Yeah, but the point is that we're talking about media pluralism, right? And we're talking about the fact that this morning, the gentleman in question who was supposed to have been arraigned before court on Monday.
Yeah.
We don't have information. The police has not spoken to us.
That's right.
In the days past, in the days of IGP John Kudalo or IGP Apietu or IGP Opon Buenu or IGP Mohammed Alassane or Peter Namfuri or Walenkaki or any one of them, would have just picked up a phone and called the police and they would have gotten information. Now, who do you call?
Now, a lot is left up to speculation and inference.
So now we wait for the police to issue a statement. And when is the police going to issue that statement? And do we have the luxury of time? That's why I'm saying that the police is now restricting information as to what they want us to know. And that's quite dictatorial because we as press men, we do a lot of research before we publish.
That's right.
Part of the research is to call somebody to say, Chairman, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What is the status? Then the person who is a PRO can speak to you, and you can actually quote the person, or we can raise the person on the phone line for the person to talk to us.
Yeah.
We are going into a crucial election. We can't wait for press releases. We need to have somebody that we are connecting with, so police can designate people. But the ultimate question I'm asking is that there's a police PR in every district, every division, every region, whatever it is, every command. When they go to work, what are they going to do? What do they do? Since we centralize the communication, when they go to work, what do they do?
That's a good
So
question.
something happens at St. Gregoire, they have to gather the facts and send a situational report to Accra. For Accra to now read it, it takes time for them to be able to publish, from St. Gregoire in a reported speech. Within the time that we wait for them to be able to gather that information, don't you think that people will fill in the blank spaces?
Oh, absolutely.
And if people fill in the blank spaces with misinformation and disinformation, do you come back to arrest them, to hold them with a law that says that they can't misinform or disinform? So we should wait for you. The police is a service, not a force.
That's right.
And we must be able to tell our beloved George Akuffo Dampare that the way he's going about the communication, it is actually hurting. Because if you remember his vetting, he came to say that he wants to improve the image of the police service. And improving the image of the police service is not just about police brutality. I mean, recently we saw a policeman handcuffed somebody and slapping the person left, right, center. We have just been told that the person has been interdicted. But where are we in terms of the investigation?
In fact, that follow-up, like you said, until there's a press release, you can't even interrogate it further, ask more questions, probing questions, and so on and so forth.
The other truck, the Lolo that we saw carrying a yellow truck with the police emblem on it, the Lolo that, the Galamsey equipment around the Obuasi area, the police says we are investigating. What has become of it? So the police is always investigating, but because they have shut their doors to us and they only they put the printer out there. The printer cry is not out, it's the printer outlet that is out there through the window.
And
so when they print the document, it falls out and you pick it and you have to go and read it.
I don't disagree with you at all, Johnny, especially to the extent that people now will form their own narrative. The distrust that the average Ghanaian has of the Ghana Police Service, I'm not sure if the IGP has taken notice of that and how we fill in the blanks ourselves. As soon as I see a press release and there's no follow-up, and especially the ones that are not signed or even sometimes dated, the perception is that, lie. And these are not my words. I monitor what goes on the grounds, on social media and beyond, and that is the narrative always. So I agree with that. I understood it from the perspective of wanting to have trained personnel who know how to effectively communicate, but that is a need that must be filled by the police and not shut out
so
completely.
Helen,
So I agree.
I know police PROs, and I'm with some of them on the Institute of Public Relations platform. Very well educated police people who have done their Master of Arts degrees in communications. We sat in classrooms with them, so we know them personally. People who are accredited, chartered PR people who are on different levels on the IPR ladder. So when it comes to training, you can always do an in-service training or refresher, because we do that here all the time.
That's right.
But before a person gets to become a PRO of a police service, they are trained. Are you saying that the likes of Cephas Afa, the likes of Efia Tenge, the likes of the lady Juliana Obeng, the likes of Godwin Ahianyo and the rest, they don't know their left from their right? Alex Obeng.
Certainly not those who are trained to do so, but the other police personnel who we would typically pick up and call.
So before you make a phone call to somebody, so that's what I'm saying, you designate people. You know your men. Deploy them. If we ask the police that there's going to be a demonstration here tomorrow, the police know the people they will deploy.
That's right.
They will not just deploy anybody. They will deploy people who have knowledge in crowd control, route control, etc. So if it is about communication, deploy the right people. You cannot say that, you are, it's business as usual, and it's you cannot do that. You're not being fair to the public, because you are starving the public of information that the public needs.
That's right.
And granted, we all can't. What is the reach of Police TV? What is the reach? Compare that to the over 500 radio and TV stations in Accra alone.
That's right.
Compare that. And ask me if you multiply that by the multiplier factor effect by the regions, you are not able to, what do you call it, have more reach and spread. So you are not be fair. Already, as IGP, you already have what? COP Alex Mensah, and the issue is not being settled, lying, hindering around you.
Whose money paid for that sitting, for all the whatever went into it?
We paid for it. We paid for it.
And what is the outcome?
We paid for it. We paid for it. We paid for all those ones. We really, 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 really paid for it. We paid for it. This is what Alex Mensah had to say about it. He had to say that the man is the worst of the IGPs. I mean, that's his opinion. IGP fires back. That matter has not been settled.
That's right.
That matter is not missing in the minds of people.
George Akufu Dampari, the Inspector General of Police, is not managing the police well. Have you ever had an opportunity to express this, either directly to him or at the police management board meeting?
Honorable Member and Honorable Chair, several opportunities. And what I said yesterday, you give me the chance today, I will say so again. He is not managing the police service well. And for me, for the 31 years that I've been in the service, I can tell you he's the worst IGP we've ever had.
There you have it. I'll see you shortly after this break. Stay with us here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Hey, Auntie C and her replica. Long time. How may I help you?
Auntie Ama,